Okay, here we have a 1972 Datsun 240Z. It was built by a guy named Dave Kipperman for autocross and hill climb use. He was very successful. You can Google it, find some YouTube videos and some pictures and some statistics. He has run it with a bunch of different motors, from Chevy V8s to 4-cylinder turbocharged Nissan motors to I don't know what else. We purchased it as a roller from him, and we went with the 280ZX turbo motor with the T5 Ford Warner transmission, and we've done some HPDE sessions with it, some time trial, had some fun with it. It's a dual ownership car, so we are parting ways, so it's time to part with the car. It was built around using Formula Atlantic slicks front and rear, so we buy takeoff tires online, and they are $75 to $100 a piece, which is like a quarter of the cost that you would pay for them new. The suspension is all Arizona Z-Car. Brakes are Wildwood. Rear diffs are R200 with a coffee limited slip, a mechanical type limited slip. Intercooled, turbocharged. Engines rebuilt using forged Ross pistons, forged rods. It was all balanced and blueprinted. We got a Schneider Stage 2 camshaft in it, new rockers and followers and lash pads, 5-angle valve job, running a T3 T4 turbo, hybrid turbo. Currently it's just running on the spring, which is 8 pounds. We do have a boost controller in the car that you could adjust that up. The engine should easily hold 15 pounds, and I would guess at 15 pounds it should make somewhere near 300 horsepower-ish. Haven't had it on a dyno. We haven't even had it tuned. Just running on a base tune right now. So whoever decides they want this, I would suggest some dyno time and get it dialed in. Pause for a minute. Alright, let's look at the inside. Before I go to the inside, the bodywork is all fiberglass, including the doors. The hood is fiberglass. It's over there on the grass. The deck lid is fiberglass. The quarters are fiberglass. This car weighs 2,100 pounds dry. Could go down further if you like remove the passenger seat and a couple of other things. So we have a Kirky full containment seat for the driver, and I believe it's a Momo seat on the other side for a passenger. Removable steering wheel. We got dual master cylinders. Got a Wildwood clutch and brake pedal assembly. We got our gauges. There's our boost controller up on the dash. We got a fuel pressure gauge out on the hood. We got a boost gauge, voltmeter, water temp, and tachometer. We also have a wideband O2 sensor gauge up on top there, and an oil pressure gauge. Short shifter for the T5. In the back, this is all new stuff. We got an ATL fuel cell. It's 10 gallons. All new plumbing, brand new in-tank fuel pump. Got a fire suppression system from Fire Safe, with release levers on the outside here and on the dash up there. The cage is built for autocross time trial, hill climb. I'm positive it's not legal for wheel-to-wheel use. So if you want to wheel-to-wheel this car, you have to make some modifications or redo the cage. We're running a Mega Squirt ECU system instead of the factory system. It's fully programmable. Our wheels are Diamond racing wheels. We have one extra front, one extra wheel and tire. The engine was basically just rebuilt. It's got maybe 2 or 3 hours is all. It's just running around on the base tune. We ran around the track a couple of times, drove it in some parking lots in the neighborhood. It's got a aftermarket fuel rail system. It's got 440cc injectors, forged Ross pistons, forged rods, balanced blueprinted bottom end. Intercooler setup, front mount, aluminum radiator, C3 turbo in a blanket. We also have it downpipe wrapped, keep things cool. MSD coil is new. Probably a bunch of other stuff I haven't remembered. But yeah, we've got this car up for sale if anybody's interested. Give me a shout out. Okay, this is the underside of a 1972 Datsun 240Z. This build utilizes slicks from a Formula Atlantic. You can buy takeoff slicks for like 75 to 100 bucks a piece, depending on condition. They got tons of life left in them. We got Arizona Z-Car rear suspension, R200 differential, coffee, limited slip, so it's a mechanical locker, works really well. Evox springs. Wildwood brakes. Can't see good here. Let's look over this side. Wildwood calipers on the rear and on the front. Up here you can see the reinforced frame rails. They're reinforced on the top and on the bottom. This is a completely rust-free car. Not a bit of rust on it anywhere. These frame rails weren't installed to repair rust. You can actually see the factory frame rails are still intact underneath there. And also they also extend onto the top, which I will show you when I get up on the top. Got a BorgWarner T5 transmission. We got a lightweight flywheel with a performance clutch. Don't recall the brand, but I can look it up. In the front is also Arizona Z-Car control arms and tension rods, coilovers. Again, we have Wildwood. In the front we have the big 4-piston calipers, and I believe they're 13-inch rotors. Tubular front anti-sway bar. We have brake ducting for the brake, have aluminum radiator, also a big aluminum intercooler mounted up front. Yeah. Just pan back and look at it in the front, underneath, both sides. These are the Radial tires from Formula Atlantic. Some guys run the bias ply, but we just switched over to Radials. We have one extra front and one extra rear wheel and tire that goes with the car.